Come on, get in. Sorry, you barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for...
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home.
You see, a youngish man.
Hello, I'm Andre.
His grip is strong.
This is my posse.
The young man with air.
An egg. Egg! Together with a settled burger, who's out there right now, we have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't settled.
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North. Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of places, I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues. Ah, so you've met her? Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
Finally someone who understands the plight of narcomania. Play it cool. You might have an ally here.
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spirit. Dopheads! Burnouts! Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about... Strikes up! And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze. Letting you... Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
The spooky kind. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, also, they don't eat. People just want to spin tapes without some spook. Thank you, Egg. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the ecclesiast... All right, man. If you decide... Hi again. Have you changed your mind? You changed your mind, right? I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while. Not long. Like a week, maybe? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I don't know. What does it... Oh, yeah. I knew you'd get it.
It feels good to be the smart cop, doesn't it? That's a good cop to be. Has a nice ring to it. Smart cop.
Oh, okay. I won't do that anymore. Of course. Not only if he promises to look into the... Officer, I apologise. Noid doesn't all...
Damn it. Take it. Don't you just want to see what's in there?
Brilliant! Noid, the key! All right.
It's as if time has frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key moving in the air. Yeah, this is going to be way cool. Blam! Straight in the eye. A stabbing pain. Tears stream
Man, I'm super sorry. That was
totally my bad.
He looks like he's genuinely sorry he didn't throw them better.
I really am sorry, man. Just take this.
Wow, looks like there's quite a lot there.
The key?
He is shifting in his spot.
We were talking about the padlock, I think. Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. Well, there's also the... When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set...
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires.
Andre!
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us.
No!
Which other one? I'm not...
Felt like silence. Off.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone that we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something like you aren't alone.
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling. Like some kind... Yeah, you know. The way it was...
It was stalking the cell.
odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see...
You should ask her about it. But we know...
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Sure. What? As always...
Call the Mama Dakwa. A young man with
Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent! All core! Alright! Yeah!
he furrows his brow as his very large head traces.
Hardcore! Ah!
Is it though? But is it? I mean, really?
Under the radar.
Could there have been a right way out of this garden, forking paths, you think?
Hi again. So, how are things going? Truth is, I don't really know. Yes, there's also... When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago...
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Why?
Andre!
Oh,
No!
we...
Felt like...
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think... You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Well, honestly...
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Hey now! I'm 70% sure. Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from? Sure. What? Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding...
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
You know, of Meteo. Concerning Meteo. Meteo, a country on Muindi. On the Muindi East.
One of the poorest of the first world nations today, but once a great ancient civilization. Capital, Tilakos.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the in. You're totally wrong about that. The Pericarnassian Church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. Love is
Unity.
unity. Make some noise for my Insulindian pus.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
Oh yeah! He's coming around. You're getting it. Yeah!
He seems ecstatic that you share his.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the...
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you.
The one with the large head is still looking at you.
Yes. What? Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scattered the place, I did some... oh, it's the one they sell at the
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
It's for starting engines, man.
What's with the goddamn Romangarod earrings? It's
Keep on it, sire.
I guess it does.
You're not completely satisfied yet.
No idea, man. It does.
Told you we have a smell problem.
Ether? I don't smell...
No,
He sniffs the air. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look, however, their breathing is regular, their jaws stay put, and their at least not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos.
The what now? Oh, the old...
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur.
I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Yes, that's all Nosefed's doing.
Nosefed is the shit.
Sure. Here you go, officer. The noser. Blast away.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremony. Well, he's just kinda here. Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his center.
The man smiles. I get it. He's a puzzle.
As always.
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a read. Yeah, gotta compare. I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is a sticker.
Interesting. He wants you to describe it, though he already knows what it looks like.
Seems like my creation has found its way into the legal bureaucracy. The dead guy is smiling. He defeated history. We are living in the age of history, and in the present moment, or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just really ecstatic about it. Should be sold, but not by us. Simplicity was brought to us by a classic. Well, hardcore is not tasteful. The sticker, the clothes, the music, same thing. Not alone. Many people are thinking the same thing right now. There's a gathering. Simplicity. Well, the sticker, the clothes. It is. Or I guess one could write an entire treatise on the thing. Nah. You heard me. The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. I can see that. Further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve sign synchronicity would be by weird stuff. Specialised. There was wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up Samaran science. Nothing's wrong with it. You should most of it doesn't exist. But sonic powers, pale-related diseases...
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Okay, so the speed freaks want to start a club, indeed. So one of them came upon the abandoned church. They want to turn it plus, and it has to be considered. You can't invent the future. It still feels as if this didn't quite go as it should have. But
As always,
the shaggy-haired girl.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church? Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? Oh, that.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the...
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know. And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall, upside down like a crab. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that.
Like a crab, you say?
It was too dark.
Come on, she obviously could. She already went into detail.
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh...
A crab? And...
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw. Why? Nothing. Anyway, what else? My associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on.
To the cops.
Me? I'm a silver bird. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow plastic cover. wooden doors. More than twice, the lock turns easy.
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air rushed in the heart. In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands up. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs. Clearly visible. Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard. The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks, the ocean feels distant. It's ebony. The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers. She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You. As that soft word passes through your mind, your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small pine. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before.
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. They said we should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant? There it is again. A small pang of guilt. It's time to ask him what happened here.
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has... Well, your station was involved, I hear.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them. I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now. Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism.
The woman looks by in silence.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still. The highest category of historic individual. And more. An innocence is elected to office by the founding. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one. No, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of many things, you know she was a woman of the court. The wife of an influential. Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess. So She made the most of her position in the anti-DeLorean court. A court visited by the... It was on her advice that Irene Le Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages. She was crowned 2 years after the first Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared and the Queen, bystanders reported golden filaments. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt. As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and in a city called Advesperaskit in Vesper Messina, she was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd. Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother. A perfect midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of one of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years late. Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man thought to be insane. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well. Terrifying is a term too emotionally, although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocents. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world suggesting those who fight against it are not. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from his... This subtle terror is part of her icon.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask? Okay. It's just that this church, the coast in general, we shouldn't linger here. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction. Unknown. The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk below both women in luminous black, and then along the left side, after life, death, after death, life again, after the world.
Death, life again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the it was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already... Justice, union, prudence, and force. Not at all.
The mother of humanism towers above you. A machine stands in the corner. What?
A radio computer. And it's turned on.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflect. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of film. This is the machine's filament memory. Press play to access its content. A bar of fabric right above. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned.
Good afternoon. Votre accident en Sainte-Brune.
This is a human interface. A retired person sitting behind a switchboard somewhere.
The filament you have inserted into the core. I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Is this the personal log? Good.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament hold.
I'm afraid we are not doing that.
Now, can you please repeat the password? Still? No. Received. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? The company on whose name? One moment. Fortress accident. SCF.
That's not bad.
I wouldn't know. I'm only here. Any other questions? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. Nothing happens. The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shift in matter and maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your foot, and then it's gone. Almost, you can hardly hear your own breathing. You produce a few muffled thumps. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl. The lieutenant points to his...
Can you hear anything? The church just has strange...
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead. It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way. It's not a shadow anymore. Becoming more...
Officer, is there something up there?
Oh no. You've lost sight of... Yes. The darkness makes the ceiling feel infinite. You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at. Maybe it's possible to talk to it. Guillaume Le Million. The shadow is a man, the crab man. The man leaned forward a little, fixing you.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesque.
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user.
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling clock. Hey, and what was that about? The bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't even know it. Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't...
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking. 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it. I always thought of myself more like a flame.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a set?
Sure am. Whittling, now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness. It's all just for the mother, man. I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. No, man. You gotta let that shit go. Then the mother's light touch with...
Do you remember your...
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information.
Tiago's my name. But those syllables don't mean much to me these days. Your place amongst your fellas. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly. I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have them. No. There's a new god in town, and she can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me. I will be incinerated, but not the...
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about it.
It's not like that at all.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
I heard that before, Way, and I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think.
There are drugs darker than alcohol circling your system.
She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out. I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. I know. Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here. Back when. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadow.
Something like that.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. Other spooker? Oh.
The Aita is Grandma?
No. I just call her Viejita because of her clothes. She's... That's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests. I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait.
Or search through a radio computer.
Too many times, S.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety. The lieutenant raises...
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita Pequeña when the ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the one. Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway. Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually wait. Might even be nice to have some.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
I think we're done here, Essay.
That was, However, I'm still not sure.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The speaker comes to...
Good afternoon. Fortress accident. Good. Please repeat. Good. I have unlocked the filament. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do? Goodbye, Fortress.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The printer prints out a long text document with the first entry made on the 4th. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for... Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that. See? Even one of the spookers themselves. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to... But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup when the backup
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Something about the backup data getting destroyed. And how everyone thought her friends, colleagues? She must be quite educated if she knew.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike up.
The strike. We're nearing. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of that disco man must be a cell.
The girl on the ice?
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of a strange woman make straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds.
We should talk to her. After she has rebooted.
What is it? I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA Radio. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how...
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started...
Nope. Yes. No, you're right. I'm not. I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. I use the AR1 as my RAIN prefect processing. RAIN prefect. My radio computer. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you? Alright. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more on the front, the unified front of radio waves, it's all around us. That's what...
Like love.
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad, but it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operation. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy...
She liked telling you this. It calmed her nerves.
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core.
Could you just... shh for a moment?
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do. And
Great. You really like those questions, don't you? I'm conducting scientific research here. I'm looking for the location of a 2
Wait. She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. The lieutenant raises his brows. but doesn't say anything.
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, what do you think it is? What qualities does nothing...
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
I don't know. Are we? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. But how do I figure it out? You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been... But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibration...
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinate. I know. No.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning. Her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the swap. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. Great. Thanks. What?
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind... This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. Take a guess, why don't you? I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Officer! God damn it. Pull yourself together, René. What do you want? There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not her death you are investigating. Absolutely not. She died of pneumonia in her bed at the age of 79. Reversal fair of 91 in the Forberg district. This was the happiest day of my life. I was 22 when I returned from
The Ikeda operation was
I won her back.
You were like a dark cloud sucking the joy out of...
Dark cloud.
Those days and memories are...
The old soldier says nothing, but when his glance quickly runs over Gaston's face, there's an odd look in his eyes. All you observe is a...
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabineers.
Don't you mean?
You do not speak his name, Craven. Although he was a...
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't worry.
Vigilance officer? What can this old carabinier do for you?
The tear machine. Your bottles clunk into the machine. Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass. Like there's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold. Nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of an old woman. Motionless. Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window.
Again? I can't believe this shit. Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again. We're not wasting time. You're not shitting me, Mil.
We're getting to it. There have been complications.
I would love to. I don't know.
It's like you felt it.
Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? What is it?
Yes? What is it? Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask? The sooner you figure this hanging out, the sooner everyone can go home.
Can I help you?
What is this thing?
Okay. Okay, well, this is actually a nice bird. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't...
People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the
It's not actually about that, but he liked it.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad? Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything.
What's going on? Is an ungovernable youth on your crime scene, throwing around incendiary language?
Fuck no! What are you, fucking mentally handicapped? Kuno, they've all... Ease off, see? Kuno always takes the bullet over the hammer.
He'd rather die than work with the justice system.
Kuno doesn't...
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man.
Looking for something?
You could push him by asking him to show you the soles of his boots. He definitely looks like someone capable of a lynching.
Been admiring the stompers, huh?
On the bottom of the man's boots, you see the wind howls over the bay of Rivershaw. A cascade of cold air flowing through the tangled sea.
It sure is. Custom made. For when the invasion comes. The last thing they'll see before the lights go.
It doesn't look like the lieutenant cares. He just makes a little note.
No, it's not like that. You don't get it. It's when I kick them, you know? Oh, fuck it. It's too complex for you. For something?
Right to work! The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer.
Unpromising race pupil returns. Babe, see that they stay here the whole time. The unpromising babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead.
So, you guys are like cops or something? Have you ever thought that maybe things should go to shit?
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everard's lapdogs!
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across. The man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray, and what you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Right to work! Right to work! Shame
on you!
You missed a good show before. I kept getting back.
He fucked the tree up! Fuck!
You need to act decisively. It's Kuno. Use Kuno words.
Stop choking, Kuno! The faggot has got you in a...
Kuno's not fucking choking. Like fuck you did. Kuno's gonna keep saying kipped forever now. Kipped. Shit. The fuck did you want anyway? You got your fuck bag down. Now let's talk normal shit. Yes. Kuno wants a normal conversation. Ask normal shit, please. Kuno doesn't...
I'll die before I squeal, pig. What's this kid shit? Fucking mind games.
Get the fuck out of here, face.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready. Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transport.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing.
The fuck are they on?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up.
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From autopsy to cleanup to social work, everything. An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later, Corporal.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, you must have me confused with the... You, sir, you are the copper people.
Unfortunately, no. They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes. That's right.
You knew it because you inspected your ledger. The lieutenant is relieved you know the protocol. The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes, and above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
That's you.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings. Just
KK57.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
And what would that mean?
HDB 41. 0, 10, 15. It's understated.
Good. Let's go.
The lieutenant is quite surprised you managed to come up
We've heard the nom de guerre. Lately. It's better. What's next? Date of NA. Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. He nods.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mundi. This is as vague as it gets. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks...
Fucky, fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and in this...
We're still going with March 4th. What else? 9. Body identified by... is non-applicable.
HDB 41 0803.1.
None. At least not after the initial examination. They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dog walkers. We should start the post.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's...
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to. Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.1. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as the deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person. The stench is suffocating. Strands, more hair sticks to your hand. Hair off the rain-soaked head. There, dead man. You were someone's child. The lieutenant watches you in silence.
That was some sick shit, Sekopa!
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head.
Fucking low velocity! You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Talking shit about...
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we...
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as...
See? My pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east.
You are? You're Kuno's pig?
Concentrate on the belt, not on who is whose pig. There is no pig. There are only the chain cutters, and you jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh. The lieutenant looks by, somewhat worried. A really, really bad smell is coming from there now.
Yeah, fuck him! Fuck that faggot!
Told you my pig was hardcore.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
He sinks the cutters into the knot, preparing to perform the cuts. With snap, the knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like...
Here. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is wet, chest is intact, normal contour, abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact.
No! Let's get up and see!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the head.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about
from wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades.
Last item. Hands.
The hand is surprisingly heavy to lift, filled with decay liquids.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. Maybe I'm just not seeing them.
Working so close to the fumes coming from the corpse must be hard. You realize suddenly...
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement.
I think that may well be the moral of every story. Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh.
Yeah, jack that fucker!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat war.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. No, you don't. You can keep it in. You can keep anything. You manage to suppress the contractions trying to enter your stomach.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary. NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Neither am I. That's it. Same for toxicology and serology. Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there? Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if it was brimming. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the head. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and the ligature mark encircling the neck. Oh, so we inflicted them? Okay, so there's an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. I wouldn't mention it. Better not to muddy the waters. Injuries. Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator
At maximum velocity.
has confessed to causing it.
The lieutenant's admission has caused great gratitude in Kuno. Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description.
Right. Next. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring... I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of...
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible. He is deep in thought. Eyes...
Why do you say that? Did you? I'm not so sure. I thought we could establish the cause of death here, officer. Now I think we should, at least for the time being. If we don't like it, I can... Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But we also requested a toxicological screening. That was we were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
He's thinking, did I miss some? I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you pulled down his breeches, marbling.
Do you think we missed something? Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body. It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates.
Fuck are you looking at, being old man?
Only if all else fails.
Kuno looks like he gets a... Or, remember the buttons on that intercom over there? On the side of the building next to the Whirling? One was...
Hurry. This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become harder to find.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad. Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. Silence. No one answers the doorbell. Silence. No one. You ring the door. What an ominous... Just seeing the words. All you hear is static, but no one answers the call. A brisk coastal wind still howls against the wind. The room feels muffled, like you...
What is this place to you?
Waves crash onto the beach, drowning the room. This could have been you. This could still be you. A down on his luck. Outside, the howl of the wind has picked.
Look.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum. You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum. You take the legal documents out of the pen is shaking in your hand as you draw a pathetic little... The line gets even. No, it's just a line. Forgery obviously isn't your strong suit. Sorry for suggesting.
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning south. Remarkable. It's a good thing, too, that he has an actual police officer.
That's odd. Is she actually impressed?
That's sweet of you. It really is. I check around the abandoned fish market on the boardwalk.
A phenomenon that the
If one of them lost something, that's as good a place to start looking as any. Oh. That's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? This calls for a funeral, if you ask me. Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? falling in the line of duty like that and all? And why so? Our things are part...
Life world. Someone's been reading up on last century Gotwaldian philosophers. Play it cool now.
Oh yeah? You won't even be able to get it out of the water before. Take it from someone who's been through a few...
That's all we have time for right now anyway. Come back here in June and see how you feel about it then. It's not like it's going anywhere. Yes, that is a pity. But for now, let's focus...
You like the Capri funeral idea?
Are you? This says by signing, I agree. What a nice idea.
She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea.
That Everard and the Union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. Well, I guess Union...
And those members have a vote when electing the head of the local...
He has a pen in everything. Here you go. You're welcome.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What do you...
That's an excellent question, man.
He probably poured it for booze. Are you getting a reward for it at least? What? You're fetching some...
In fact, he does.
None of my business, either way. How you spend... Anyhow, you might ask Lillian if she's seen anything lately. That girl... Eh? What's this about? Come now, I can't read all the scribble. Tell me what it says. Huh. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village. I see Lillian's name is already here. The girl is too trusting. I've seen it all before. You think they've got our interests at heart? Rich men are always selling poor men. Then the poor get pushed out of their homes, and the rich get a little rich.
In her mind, the Union is right-wing because Everard. She speaks with the authority of a leader. Hers is the final word around here.
Hey, was the...
Well, well. Bringing him that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude.
Yes, yes. For the dead body.
Correct him.
I don't care. You're not putting a dead body into my fridge. Because this is a culinary establishment.
It would only be for...
Lieutenant, you too? You're asking too? No.
Wow. Turned the lieutenant off like he was a busted old radio.
Let's go talk to the freight clerk.
Behind the dock workers, a ceiling height window.
Is this about the questions again? Mm-hmm. Right behind you. You're joking, right? Okay.
Now that I'm looking at it, maybe a glass-doored fridge in a public grocery store isn't the best option for storage.
Okay.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad? For the fucking... Good thing you asked the Kunmeister. Kuno knows a fridge. Perfect for freezing Bacon Man's in a rush. But what's in it for the Kuno? What's the return on Kuno's investment?
By killing in his territory, someone has openly challenged Kuno. It's in his best interest to put... A dark flame smolders in Kuno's eyes as he ponders your argument. Wordless.
Alright, Kuno hears you. See that shit house over there?
A cold comes over you as you glance behind him at the crumbling colossus there, casting a shadow on you.
You gotta get in that shit. In there, deep. Check the fucking basement, pig. Don't you know anything? There's a giant fridge down there. Fucking will fit, no problem. It looks...
A white bear? A polar bear?
Through the bookstore. You gotta beg the book, bitch. Used to be you could get in there through the doorbell, jam that shit. Yeah, book, bitch.
He means the bookstore. We have to ask... Plaisance.
Impressive note-keeping.
See, the cloud gets it. Listen to your four-eyed friend. Then try again. Kuno's not your brain slip. You didn't hear it from Kuno, pig. But
Kuno owns you now, pig. You're Kuno's property.
Kuno doesn't...
Hello again, esteemed officer. And what a fridge? No, I don't know anything about a fridge.
For whatever reason, she's lying to you about the fridge. Seems like you... A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears only a hollowed-out dark echo.
Right. What about...
She gives you a short...
Everything's still cool here, officer.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're the star of the show here.
Shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed. Sporty and practical, officer. Good choice.
What a shirt. All other shirts pale in comparison to the muscular man with antlers and immense Zweihan. A typical Martinez streetlight sits among the light pole, has been carefully cut. This would make quite a statement in your living room. All the old You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Big men on
Franco-Nigerian night.
A long, long time ago. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps.
This is what the loyalists look like, yes.
Which ones? Ah.
This set of
You're probably talking about... I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. Maybe.
Hey. Psst. Psst. Hey, yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start. Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop? Good. We need tender men like you building gargantuan communism. Word on the street, you keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich. Funky style. Very funky. So tell, oh yeah, get the firing squads and that. Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without bread.
go. Nice.
There's a cylinder on the ground.
Who's there?
Is that the police? Why are the police?
Don't worry, Gary. To what do I...
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Hey, of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881. Oh, good. We should really...
Did he say we...
Yes, Gary! We can go, sir.
Sir, your wife...
I just have to do one more round. See if the...
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
And I'm eager to return to her. My wife understands that.
Come on, Morel.
And leave the traps.
Come on. She wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crab.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. Yes, that's how we first came to... Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid. No. The traps need to be monitored.
He's dead set on this.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer. Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of... Bring it to me at once.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find.
There are 4 in total. One is to the... Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's...
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular? Is it?
If you think it's important, you have been right before.
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event, it's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent... Wise choice.
This is the smell of...
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canisters.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50...
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the boiling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that the...
Finally!
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking...
If it's more cryptid-related business. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
Hello, I'm Yellow Man. I mean...
The lieutenant raises his... Yellow Man. Interesting.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization. I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here. Oh, I've been tempted. But someone...
He pronounces Revocon. Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Mar...
So you...
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary.
He didn't kill him or anything. But there's something going...
My mug? Why would you think that? Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone. Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away. You're not going to find me, are you? Whew. Thank you. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn.
What did you do?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Help. I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a map. so I can use the whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. I'm sorry, okay?
Disgraced. No need for the histrionic, sir. It was...
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Officer, please. Let me explain. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the whirl. Okay. I was coming to throw the muggle.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads, against one another as they roll across a hardwood.
What sound? Really? There's lots of weird stuff out here in the
Every day, the wind shifts. The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned.
Armor? No. I'm...
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
I hope I could help your investigation.
Don't be so relieved yet, Gary. This bad cop may have been in your apartment, admiring your mug collection. Perhaps a little intimidation?
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next races will be a really good one? Well, this is that racist.
Hey, man. All I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. No problem at all. I like to pronounce it...
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden myth. It's a secret rite. A very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
No. I helped Morell with research sometimes. Sure.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
Mr. Everard? So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me. What could it be about? I probably talked to... I won't do it again. If there's any...
This scared him proper. He's...
The weather vane has turned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation.
It's a pleasure. I mean, officers.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that. Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. This shame.
Gary! What? Later, Morale!
No. You've got explaining to do.
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered, so I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of only the cuirass was left. So I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning, No one saw me. I took it with me.
It's okay. It was a look.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man.
They were thoroughly It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology.
Because I was weak. I should have told...
The hell, Gary?
I'll explain later. I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore.
This is all he knows. He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat.
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Behind you, the ruin. When this district was booming, the locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. I meant no offense, just...
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Correct. Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic. The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution.
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them. A dozen at least, 10 meters away. Other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. The abundance of bullet holes leads to 2 options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from they stand, face ordinary people, familiar. Collateral damage on the path, maybe you should change it. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark men of duty. In all truth, violence offers no answer. It's the commandant, the one who gives the order.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives.
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about...
Another likely scenario.
Or maybe...
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition... To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation...
A cold sea wind. This is the trap. The reeds by the abandoned. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp. This trap is also full of panic.
Another empty trap. Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this cave?
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. Dripping water. There's rust and corrosion on.
No. I had a partner once. They called him Eyes. Because he...
This partner of his?
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works.
Someone has left an unidentifiable, the cloth, if you can still call it. It's streaked with dried seagull shit. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes up. It's a sordid filth. Some secrets are better left uncovered. Don't even. It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jack. It smells like a dead sea creature. Somehow, it was carried or dragged. The faint impressions of many footprints are also present, though it's impossible to tell what kind or out. The crust is hard somewhere, high. They are like the all of a sudden, splat and explode. It's too late. You've already thought about it, and now you're just flicking that shit everywhere. The smell, it's awful and familiar. It doesn't help. You can still smell. Don't you recognize it? That hideous something cold. It is death. The lieutenant.
Eyes up, detective.
There's some tear. An empty cigarette package and a crumpled 2 empty bottles. No, there's more in there. Liv is
a tragedy.
He shakes his head with genuine sadness. Whoever tossed it here. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra. You see traces of mayonnaise and it's no older than... It's hard to concentrate in the smell. A man lies on the boardwalk. His limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits in his cramped hand. The smell is not as bad.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer.
Another dead body. Calm now. Carefully. Just he's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket. The leather jacket suits him well. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this.
The man has fallen through a bad fall. It might have been dark out. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes empty and wide. Height 170. He was confused when he died. Confused and alone. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. A dried chunk of blood. This is...
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal.
They screech under your feet. You see waves churning below. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that. A .75 liter
tear all around us. I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not...
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The blackness of death confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is...
He ate the whole pack, right? It's too cold. I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Looks like one of the locals. But that's just a lazy assumption.
A dead working-class man with a bottle in his hand? Don't...
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband? I can't see a book. So he took the book to the library.
I'll have one.
Damn it. He's definitely someone's husband. Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate... Oh yes. Some symptoms of acute alcohol... But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. What about it? The deceased ate...
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the... Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is... It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure. Although there's still a question of identifying death by me. No, I don't see anything that points in that direction.
Yes, but what if there's a killer on the loose? 2 suspicious deaths in such a short time frame.
Without any further evidence, yes. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward... From where I stand, I can see 2 options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. A field autopsy isn't necessary if the court... I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. Maybe, but we don't really have much time or resources to spare. Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station.
The library card is folded into 2. Billy is a unisex name. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. Most of these titles seem to... If lost, please return the card.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema.
metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable. This trap's not too hard to spot. The reeds shake sadly. The wind picks up here, near the capes. Nothing but local.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we are done. No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune. The old woman still sits. The buzz of electric lights. There's a gap where the name of that song should be.
Yes, I can't really sleep any. My suggestion is don't. Don't grow any older than you already are. A lullaby my mother used to sing. Yes, it does. I can wash it for you, but it's good.
Hell yeah.
I could use a breather. It's been another track and field day.
Well, hand it over then. Must say, I'm proud of this one. It's pretty nice underneath all that filth. I hope you take better care of it than its last owner.
It's getting late, and...
Good night, officer.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you...
Logic and reason won't work on this old bat.
What do you mean? I raised my own kids in this village and they are doing fine for themselves. They are good kids. No, they moved to folk. Well, I imagine...
You've got her.
Then...
You have her. Wait. Let her come to it herself.
I don't believe the Fat Man's Youth Center is going to change anything. I won't be around much longer anyway. Not with the dampness in my bones. If they want to take a chance, who am I to stop them? We do.
Reluctantly, she...
See that you didn't just get us all screwed. I might be half blind, but I have a good memory for treachery. Huh? I like to see him.
That doesn't... She doesn't seem surprised.
Get out of here, trying to ruin my day. And that youth center better be a good one, or you... I wield an army of drunks. Do not underestimate the effect of such a force.
The mailbox greets other than developing a personal relationship. You drop the white envelope in the dark. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad. Kuno doesn't give a fuck about any. Kuno doesn't